Good evening. Hello. Hello to this very live stream. Sorry about the lateness. Had problems with the computer, but the computer's fine now. We're here. Okay. And in this one, we're going to do some railway talk when we get through the meet and greets. Okay. Hello to Dawn Marie. Hello to one of my fellow mods who I'm thankful always for having, Dawn Marie. And Lindy is here. Good evening to you. Rexy, Ria, hello. Hello to Ria. Herman is here. I've never known you to be a strict person, but I'm guessing you're strict under certain circumstances, as many of us generally by and large are, as one could expect. And Blacksmith, because obviously we all have strict boundaries, don't we? Blacksmith is here, and Jody is here, and Heather. Blacksmith, hello to you. And Lily Lils is here. Hello always. Hello. And Max, hello to you. Hello, Maxie. You're in a local pub drinking some shots. Enjoy your shots. Do enjoy the shots. We've got Diane White. And I heard Harriet can't make it because Alice has an appointment. Oh, Dawn Marie, I'm going to explain this to you privately. I'll explain it to you privately. I won't explain it publicly here, but I'm going to explain it privately. Oh, no, not again. Everything was working internet-wise. It was just my computer had trouble getting started, but it's started up now. Sapper is here. Good evening to you. Good evening. Yes, no, her cat needed an appointment. Her cat's got an appointment, Heather. That is. Harriet's cat has got an appointment because she's got two cats, Alice and Willa, but I do know that you're allergic to cats. I know that. One thing I've not forgotten, Heather, is your allergies to cats. No, I do know that you're 66, Dawn Marie. I do know this. First time I encountered you, you were 64, going on 65. And now nearly 2 years later, it's 66. Oh, wow. You got Sapper's mugs today. Yes, of course, Sapper. We promote and share others' channels too. You know, always feel free to promote your channel, Sapper, and also feel free to promote other channels that you believe is worthy of recognition. Please do. Go ahead, mods, if you want to do so. Go ahead. Hoping so too, Dawn Marie. You know, Harriet loves her cats more than anything in the world. She loves her cats, Dawn Marie. She loves her cats. She completely loves her cats with all her heart. I mean, and I love, you know, and I love my two cats, Stephanie and Nixie, as well. No, cats, one's pets provide nothing more than unconditional love, Dawn Marie, if there's any way to so describe it. It's not, you know, many things are not hard to forget. Some things are easy to forget, but some things are not easy to forget. Some things are easy to remember, and some things are harder to remember. You know, Heather. Andrea Bono. Hi, Andrea. Hello to you. Got two of each. Wow. And yes. Now, if one wants to know, there's going to be something interesting to talk about. We're going to be talking about some information regarding railways. A lot of, quite a good few things regarding railways, that is, you know. Some interesting things, if there's any way to by and large, so describe it, what have you. So yes. And I believe it's going to be interesting. When am I going to do a collab live stream? Are you referring to podcasts, Lils? Is that podcasts you're referring to? If you meant that in the sense of podcasts, I'm hoping to do one on the 22nd of April with a very, very funny couple. They're very funny, laid back, with brilliant laid back humor, Danette and Anthony. But I'm going to be in touch with them. I'm going to be in touch with Danette and Anthony. And obviously I'll ask first, but it's provisionally scheduled for the 22nd of April. But if they're available to do a live stream on that day for a podcast, yes, if they're available for it, Lils, we'll go ahead with it. But if not, we'll have to reschedule to a different date. One thing I'm going to do, Sapper, in the live stream, in the description, in future live streams, I'd put my email address and the link, my link to, Facebook and the Discord. Well, I think Discord's already pinned in the description, I think, already, as far as I'm certain. So that if anyone wants to make a live stream appearance, they've got the contact details. They've got the contact details to use it, and so that they can get in touch privately, so that I can let them in privately, so that they've got everything in advance, what have you. Yes, I also use the community post as well, too, in that regard, yes. Yes, but this one, thank you, Jody. Thank you. No, that's thank you for the kindness. Thank you. Oh, shit. Sorry, I just got the warning reminder for the right reasons. I need to rectify everything because I got a warning reminder and I was surprised. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'll ask Harriet first, but I understand your point. I think I'll ask Harriet first. Gareth, hello, and in a few moments we're going to be in for talking about something interesting, but I have to sort something out a minute because I forgot to, no, in the wrong section, but I forgot to do something rather stupidly. But it's learning curve, easy mistake to make. Very easy mistake to make, to forget to activate something. And I forgot to activate the subs mode. And now it's activated, but I forgot to do it. No, this Harry and Meghan stuff's taking its toll, isn't it? Oh, Gareth, I had to put up the subs mode for a reason, unfortunately, because of trolling that I was facing to excess. So that was why I had to activate subs mode, unfortunately. But there they are. Trolling can take its toll, and even the Harry and Meghan controversy takes its toll too. So, and Flapper, hello. You watch a lot of other stuff these days instead, camping and hiking. You were talking to me about it, Rhea. Yes, you were talking to me about the camping and hiking content, as you were so saying. Yes, you were telling me before when we previously conversed, and I actually thought it was very interesting when you were talking about it. It was very interesting. No, really, Rhea, very, very interesting when you were talking about it to me. I mean, I've certainly got to say, what have you. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know, Lils. You know, some people, like you said, Lils, there are some disgusting creatures out there. You know, there are disgusting creatures out there, and the trolls are one of them. I mean, I just don't know why they go after me, but I think my only concluded assumption is that they just want to go after and attack others whoever they feel like it. And like you said, there are disgusting creatures out there, and that's only all the more the truth. Trolls don't care. They pick on anyone. Yes, true that, John Marie. Sapper, you couldn't have got it more right. This is YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or any social media sites. There are far too many bullies roaming around and lurking in those places. Too many. Unfortunately, far too many. Okay, now if one wants to know, this here is a signal box. And this, because hence the title, Railway Talk, or Railway History Talk, this is showcasing a certain representation in regard to railway history. Now these are becoming quite rare, these signal boxes, because obviously one is not going to be surprised if I was to share this very statement. A lot of the point switching and things and signaling, what have you, the signaling, it's done by computers nowadays. It's done, a lot of it's done by today's tech, if there's a way to describe it. But in the past, how points and signals were used, a lot of signals nowadays, they're like, they resemble the street traffic lights. They resemble street traffic lights nowadays. And hi, Kanda. Hello. Hello to you. Oh, it's froze. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, no. Might have been your internet, but mine's not too bad. But it may have been your internet, Flapper. But okay, back to the insights. You know, many signals resemble street traffic lights nowadays, as if one's seen the latest signals at the railway stations or at large mainline junctions, what have you. Whereas before, signals were different. Signals are like flaps. They just flap up, flap down, or flap down if it was green, flap up for red. Or some signals, some used to confuse them for backing signals, not the truth. Some would just go up instead of down, interestingly. But now, to share something regarding railway points. Now, one wants to know, what are railway points? Well, actually, railway points are called, they're switches or turnouts mechanically installed to guide trains from one track to another, which paves way for an essential route for flexibility, station access, getting into the sidings, or maintenance operations, key to efficiently running railway operations and network management, if there's something to talk about it. Or if there's any way to so describe it, what have you. So that's one way to describe the points. That's one part of the very insight. But the points in the way, it's like, say, for example, we have a junction. We have road junctions, like, say, on a road junction, motorway, what have you, to just share a little example. They'd say, like, or for sat-nav, if you hear a sat-nav saying, at the roundabout, turn right or left at this junction, for example. Whereas on a train, you wouldn't be able to turn like how you could with the car or bus or coach with a steering wheel. Trains don't have that. They have, namely by and large, what you call bogie wheels, particularly on the diesels and today's electric locomotives. And so the points, what have you, in the past in the signal box, you'd pull a lever and it would just switch the points. And as the points were switched, if the points were switched, You know, as the points get switched, the train, as it goes along, it just turns around on the junction. So the points on the railway lines, it's another track connected to another track that can take you to a different route, en route to a branch line or en route to another mainline destination. What have you. So there we are. I have got a picture of a signal box inside, despite having not been in. I have been inside a signal box before, Sap, but I never took a picture because it was a long time ago when I did it. But do be assured, I've got a signal box interior to share with all here. What have you? I mean, I've got a signal box interior picture, which if you give me a moment, I'm going to get this picture off. Dorking station near you still has the original signal box and Homewood. I do know that, Bill. I do know that. Hello, Bill. Sorry if I didn't say hello to you soon. Interestingly, only few locations still have semaphore signals on the main line. Now, I know that, Rexy, I've seen the signals at Littlehampton and the one at Hastings. You get trolled and have ended up and still do online because you have a famous friend. Oh, no, the trolls found out where your husband works and where you live. It was so painful. That's scary. That's very scary. That remain on our Airbnbs, yes. You know, yeah. A lot of signal boxes nowadays have been converted or either knocked down or converted. I mean, which is the unfortunate truth at a certain stage and at a certain point. Yes, of course. Well shared. Very well shared, Liz, yes. Oh, what that... Did I? Yes, I've got it. I've got it. Up share screen, yes. I forgot what I had to do, but it's share screen, yes. How could I forget that? I should be mastering this by now. Now, this here is what the interior of a signal box looks like. Every time you smell creosote, it reminds you of railways sleepers. That's funny. Now, this is how the points and signals used to be activated a long time ago. Certainly in the era of VR, that's a signalman switching the points of the junction or the signals to let the trains know that it's time to go or it's time to make a move. But I didn't know there was a campaign to keep old signals. I didn't know about the campaign, Bill. I didn't know. No, I'm hoping everything is okay. Yeah. Certainly, Sapper. Do be assured, next railway presentation, this is not the only railway presentation. There's going to be another railway presentation in another future live. And it will be not just talking points and signalling and what have you, and signal boxes, but there's also going to be talking about the purpose of the railway and the types of trains there are. And I may even do a live talking about the different British main lines, which I think will definitely come in as interesting, talking about the different UK main lines, the types of trains, the purpose of the railways, And I might even do a presentation regarding BR, British Railways, which I think will definitely interest a lot. You love the smell of train stations. You could just sit all day on the platforms, as could I too. I particularly love the smell of steam. Steam railway platforms are their nice steams. No idea, but we'll find out from Lils herself, Jodie. We'll find out. Yes, that's only almost certainly true right. You are only true right, Zappa. Yes, only true right there. We are definitely going to York Station. I will love it. And yes, no, York, as I said before, at some point this year, I'm going to be going. Especially the National Railway Museum in York. That's the National Railway Museum you were referring to, Zappa. Nation, hello. You visited Knaresborough, and it was great to see a lady in the signal box operating crossing and signals for the station. I could only imagine so. I could only imagine so. The only train you like was Thomas the Tank Engine. You had the lunchbox as a child. How lovely. How lovely learning so candor. How lovely. I remember reading the Railway series of Thomas the Tank Engine years ago. I think you're only too right, Jodie. The signal box in Plymouth had 8 points, if you remember rightly. I mean, I don't know enough about Plymouth since I'm not... Don't remember. I haven't been to Plymouth before, but I do know Plymouth well. Wooden box telephones. No, that's what they had in BR days. They had that in the BR days, wooden box telephones, Bill. It will only show that. It will only show that too well. Okay, now blacksmith. Okay, now this is interesting. Just heard Harry is visiting Ukraine when he said England is not safe for him. What the heck? What on earth is Harry thinking? Good morning to you, Dave in the future. Dave in the future and us not in the past. Hello to you. Harold is looking for drama, yes. He thinks he's Harold the helicopter who could just go anywhere he wants to go, when in truth he would have financial constraints. I think one might remember the Harold the helicopter from Thomas the Tank Engine in the Railway series, because Candor mentioned Thomas the Tank Engine a moment ago, and I remember the Harold the helicopter, and there was a Trevor the traction engine, and so many characters to list and point out, and a Bertie the bus. I remember the Bertie the bus. I think Candor would remember it just as well as I. And oh no, there won't ever be peace and prosperity just because you're friends with them. That's why you hate trolls with a passion. Oh yes, when Fiona had the police visit, that's frightening. They had an arrest warrant for Graham, our late Captain Graham the Baron Hesketh, who had just passed away at this point. I mean, frightening. No, and I completely dislike trolls with a passion too, Lils. As you said, rightly so, trolls are disgusting creatures. I didn't know that, Candor, no. I don't have the greatest of knowledge on foreign railways. I generally have greater knowledge on British Railways, so to speak. I only have great a lot knowledge on the British Railways, what have you. But interesting learning so, Kanda. Interesting learning this fact from you. Trolls also supposed to live in not the Norway fjords. No, they should live somewhere much more dark than that, Bill. They should live much more dark than that, the trolls, not the fjords. It's a good trip for trained people. I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree with you more on that. Oh, well, thank you, Littles. Thank you kindly. Thank you. Under bridges where they belong. That's what Deborah Coleman so concluded, Dominic. That's what Deborah Coleman concluded once or twice within my content. Now, this here, if you want to know what this is what an example of points. This is what a junction looks like, a railway junction. Now, we have road junctions. Obviously, we've all seen them when we're driving. But this is an example of a railway junction. That's just one example. I think that's just outside of London Bridge, because if you can see, there's skyscrapers, large buildings, and a road with cars underneath on the road, transport, what have you. I think that's London Bridge, just outside of London Bridge. Either that, or it could be elsewhere. Or it could be further in a different part of the country, or it might be in a different country. But this here is what an example of railway junctions look like. You'll give a bump if you give him a tug. Nathan, you visited Morley Hill signal box, which has been reconstructed by the Tanfield Heritage. Tanfield, that's the oldest preserved steam railway. Tanfield Railway is the oldest preserved steam railway, if you didn't know, Nathan. One day... Oh, it's in America. It's in the United States of America. Oh, I didn't realise. I thought it was UK, but it's American. Oh, thank you, Dexy. Thank you. Hi, Megsy. Hello. We don't have turntables for working trains nowadays. No, not now, Ria. Since the diesel, when we had the diesels that entered in BR, they got rid of turntables because the class of diesels that they had, they could be driven from either end because they had two cabs on each end. They could just be driven. Many are preserved now, the BR diesels, but we have some still in service. One English electric class diesel that's still in service despite being more than 60 years old. But many are preserved, some are still in service. But we don't have turntables for working trains now because when the steam retired, they got rid of the turntables. Yes, this is only true, Sapo. They've got one in the National Railway Museum in York, turntable. How did I feel when my channel reached 5K? How did I feel? Thankful, surprised, but thankful at the same time. Because you see, Lils, when you hit a milestone that you least expect, it surprises you, takes you by surprise, but at the same time, it's something to be thankful towards. Greatly thankful, if there's any way to put it. So I think that's the way one could describe how I felt when I hit 5K. it's not something to take for granted, something you should always be thankful towards. And I think that's the best way to look at it. Yes, turntables. Now, you would obviously remember them because Steam retired long before I was born, that is. But I wouldn't be surprised that you'd remember them, Dawn Marie. Alfredo, hello to you. Hello. Hello, Alfredo. Good to see you. Yes, we have locos and multiple units now. This is only true because Steam retired in 1968. It officially retired 1968. Some turntables survived much. No, that's true. That's true. But it was only, industrial narrow gauge railways. No, I don't think so. I wouldn't think so. Oh, no trouble, Blacksmith. Certainly no trouble at all. No trouble. Now, there's other information I need to share with you regarding railways. We have the switch points regarding the railway points, which move laterally to guide a train. And we've got the stock points, fixed railways that switch rails fit against. And then there's a crossing, which is a frog crossing, as is known, the crossing point where the two rails intersect. And then we've got guardrails, ensure the wheels follow the correct path through the frog, tile plates and sleepers which support and align the point components. And we've got the basic diverging tracks, allow crossing and switching in a compact space, which are the double slip switches, scissor crossovers, two overlapping crossovers in opposite directions, three-way points, one track branches into three directions. So you've got a wide array of railway points and other railways. What have you? Am I missing anyone? Alfredo, hello to you. Hello, Alfredo. Went to the North Yorkshire Moor. I know the Yorkshire Moors Railway, Lils. I know that. I've got a railway book about it. Stopped at Gothland, where the first Harry Potter film was filmed. I know that was where the first Harry Potter film was filmed. I know that. I know that, Lils. Yes, I do know that. Yes, no, I know that, Sapper. Yes, I know that. But the railways began in 1825, and that was 2 years after the railways really began. But my local railway station did not open up until 1865. It'll be 160 years this October. That is. Brighton railway station, it did not open until much later. And actually, to tell you something, actually, no, Brighton station, it actually opened up 25 years earlier than my local railway station. Because my local railway station is just one stop away from Brighton. That is, even though it's technically Brighton where I am, but it's a part of the Brighton and Hove region where I live. And, so Brighton opened in 1840, Brighton railway station, 11th of May, 1840. And so this year is going to mark 185 years. And in another 15 years, it'll be 200 years since Brighton railway station opened up. And in a few months, it will be 160 years since Hove railway station opened up. Who controls the points? It's the signalmen. Used to be signalmen in the era of signal boxes, Dave. But But nowadays it's controlled by computers and today's tech, what have you. You cannot sell anything to do with Harry Potter due to Warner Bros. Copyright. I can only imagine. I can only imagine, so Lils. I can only imagine. I mean, we know how strict these movie production companies are. One only knows just how strict they really are. That is. You would have thought Brighton would have been older. No, it is old. It's 25 years older than my local railway station. 25 years later. That is. See, Gypsy, hello to you. We've been doing a talk on railways. Hello to you. Did you hope you flew back to Canada okay from Australia? But nice to see all of you in here. And a nice portrait on your profile picture. Very nice portrait. No, very nice portrait. With somebody wearing a hat and having a good pose. I think she might be back in Canada now, Sapper. She might be back in Canada. I don't know. I think so. After a long stay in Australia. But I can't remember the last place she was at. It was an island, but I forgot the name. And it had a very expensive to live, apparently, but I forgot the name. It's where her daughter's based. I forgot the name of it. No, it is. It's 36 hours, apparently, Bill. So very, very long flight. You're home now. I hope you got home safely. That's the main thing. I really hope you got back safely. You know, because I remember you saying when you flew from Canada to Australia, it gave you the jet lag. I just hope you didn't endure the jet lag that you did on the first trip round at the end of 2024. That was Tahiti. Yeah, that's it. Tahiti. That's it. Tahiti. I think that's it. Yes. No, I do remember you mentioning Tahiti, Sea Gypsy. So thank you for mentioning it and the corrected reminders. Thank you. No, I just forgot the name, but I've remembered now. Tahiti. Yes. Apparently Australia is very expensive as well. Australia and New Zealand. Because I've got a friend in New Zealand. I've not heard from her for a long, long while now. I haven't heard from her for a very long, great while, hoping she's okay. Because I think she had a heart attack around about just under a year ago or so. And then sometime after the heart attack, once she'd recovered up, she had to celebrate her father's 80th birthday. So I'm pretty sure Australia is expensive like New Zealand. But anyway, New Zealand is more expensive than Australia. I heard that New Zealand is very expensive. I've heard that. Yes, I've heard that. But it's more expensive than Australia. Now, that is a surprising revelation, Dave. Australia's gotten expensive. I'm not surprised. Not surprised, Sea Gypsy. Not surprised. You would go business class if you can. If you're doing it frequently. Good idea. You have a collection of instruments, piano, 2 keyboards, an ocarina, a kalimba, a steel drum type thingy, a tambourine, and jingle bells. Tambourine. I haven't played a tambourine for about 20 years now. I haven't played a tambourine for either 20 years or just under. But Rexy's got some information. 17th July 1932, the line was electrified on 750 volts DC third rail, and concurrently, the station was served by a regular advertised train service. The station name, originally Salford's Holt, simplified to Salford on 1st of January 1935. That's 90 years ago. That's now 90 years ago. $2.60 litre of petrol, New Zealand. Bloody hell, that's expensive. So happy to be home. Now, I'm happy you're home now, because I do know you do love Canada. You know, and you've been to Canada a long time, haven't you, Sea Gypsy, as far as I remember? I think you've been in Canada for a long time. Was it in the 90s? Didn't you come about 30 years ago, something like that? I can't remember. I think you've been in Canada a long time, as far as what you did tell me, or a lot of us in the chat, that is. You'd love to do the settled Carlisle. I know settled Carlisle. I know that one. I know settled to Carlisle. Yes, I know that line, settled Carlisle. That's all. For those of you who are not in the UK, settled Carlisle, that's United Kingdom based, settled Carlisle. Your Parkin, what the? Oh, now, Rexy, that is a revelation. That is a revelation. That really is a revelation, that you're part Canadian. No, really, that is a huge revelation. I didn't know that. I mean, which extended family was Canadian, if I may ask? Very, very astonishing revelation there. An old one. Hardly seen any of Canada apart from plane layovers. You've seen most of the province Nova Scotia. Nearly 30 years. I thought you'd been for a long time, but wow, nearly 30 years. Long time to be in Canada. Long, long time. I hope it's not too personal question to ask, Sea Gypsy, but have you ever felt homesick living so many miles away from your native home country? Have you ever felt homesick? You know, because anyone could feel homesick, you know, living in a different country, so many thousands of miles away from their home native. Oh, God. There you are. A bit of a mess happened. Oh, Sapper, you are funny. Yes. Yes. You have a guitar and two ukulele. You got two ukuleles. $1.65 Canada. Gosh, wow. Hi, Anthony. Hello to you. Oh, wow. Quite a bit of family in Canada. Oh, wow. Did I miss a comment? I don't know if I did or not. Oh, this one I missed. Yes, this one I missed. And that, you asked the conductor how many times a train he was on had gotten derailed. He told me it was hard to keep track. No, it is hard to keep track. It's hard to keep track of derailments, especially as a conductor or train driver or general railway manager, as chance would so tell. No, but interesting you asked that, Sapa. I'm sorry I missed it when you put it in. You don't feel homesick. You've lived in Nova Scotia for so long. You feel like my life is here better. Oh, how nice. How lovely learning so. How lovely learning so. You're thinking of moving to Canada, Alfredo, really? Oh, interesting. No, but Nova Scotia, on the other hand, I've heard some interesting things about Nova Scotia. I think it's pretty much, it's like, isn't it a holiday resort? Nova Scotia, I'm pretty sure it's very popularly received as a holiday resort. You know, I'm very certain of that. But correct me if I'm wrong. Do correct me if I'm wrong, Sea Gypsy, but I'm very certain Nova Scotia is a popularly received holiday resort. You have two cousins you have never met who are Canadian. My mother's got cousins who she's never met as well. Mother's the same. She's got cousins who she's never met as well, and some who she doesn't even know as of yet. So because my mother, her late father came in a family of 7, you see, Blacksmith. So and because there were so many in my late grandfather's side of the family, my mother's father, that is, I'm referring to, not my Edmund. He didn't come from a big family, but my mother's late father did. There were so many, and pretty much all, I don't think all, but most of that extended part of the family had children. Not all. I think Auntie Iris didn't have children. Not Auntie Iris. But I think most did. And because they were all older than my late grandfather, all of my mother's cousins are older than she. And some she'd never met, because many of her older cousins were fully grown or already quite into adulthood by the time she was born, that is. So there are some cousins, Blacksmith. You and my mother have something in common. My mother's got foreign cousins she's never met, and some she doesn't even know of as of yet, to tell you something here. You know, it can easily stun oneself when a revelation like that comes to light, what have you. Working trains here in Rialto, California. Now, I am aware there's railways in California. It's nice to hear them throughout the day. They carry large supplies of various, I could imagine, because a lot of America's railway is freight related. They have got passenger related lines, but a lot of the railway is freight related and Flapper, as far as I'm certain. Oh, thank you, Lils. Thank you. Vaguely, Sapper. I vaguely heard of that railway story. Your husband's father was a railway guard back in the day. He had many a famous person on his train. I could imagine. Winnipeg. That's a very famous place in Canada, Alfredo. Winnipeg. A very famous place in Canada. Parts of Nova Scotia are holiday destinations. Cape Breton, Prince Edward Island. One of my friends has been to Prince Edward Island many times, Sea Gypsy, and I think she very much liked her experience there. New Brunswick are the big holiday places. Oh, I do know that Prince Edward Island is a popularly received holiday destination in Canada. But thank you for telling me so, Sea Gypsy. Thank you for telling me so. Hello to Morgan is my doggy. Hello. Morgan is your doggy. I'm okay. Usually these lines would be phased out and abandoned, which fascinates you. Now there's some more railway history we're learning about here. Back in the late 1800s, passenger trains would cut through deserted country at night. Outlaws, as part of the Wild West, would take advantage of this. So that is interesting. That's very interesting. Some good railway history you shared here, Rexy. And thank you, actually. It's nearly like a collaboration, Rexy and I have had talking railway history. I mean, I've shared many parts of railway history, and Rexy's been sharing some insight in railway history too. The best place in Canada. Oh, there are many best places in Canada, Alfredo. But because I've never been to Canada, I wouldn't be able to share a lot. I know some prominent places in Canada, but I'm not an expert on it. That's the thing. Hello, Nutmeg. Prince Edward Island produces a lot of oysters. Oh, oysters. Tasty. Tasty, tasty oysters. I could eat an oyster any day. I would eat oysters or fish or other types of seafood any day. And if you didn't know, Nutmeg, in Hastings, they do a little seafood stand where they sell seafood, even crab meat they sell. Tasty, tasty, tasty. And Hastings, it's become a little bit like a hideout place to me now. On a certain day where there's nothing to do, Hastings is the best place to hang out. since they got control of the drug issues that was faced there, good place to hang out to. Nova Scotia is the best part of Canada. No, as you were saying, because you feel right at home in Nova Scotia. It's not only is it terrible business, it's abysmal business, all of these illegal migrants that cross over the UK crossings borders. You're getting this all over the world, America particularly, and my country particularly. There's clearly no control over it, and that's abysmally and appalling. No control over the illegal migrants that crossed over the UK borders for non-essential purposes. There's completely no control over it, and it's an appalling. That's what I'd say on it. There's no control over it. Debs, hello to you. You love oysters. You had lots last year. For the first time, you thought they were an aphrodisiac, but ended up knitting a scarf. You knit scarves? Oh, Lils. Oh, Lils. I have a woolen scarf. Wait a moment. You love oyster bar and tasting the difference. You love clams in chowder. Love seafood. I love seafood too. Flapper. There are a lot of narrow gauge mineral railways in the North Pennines. The history is fascinating. I'm going to research this one and actually do a presentation on this one. Nathan, you've given me another idea for the next time I'm doing more. This is not the only railway history talk I've done here. There's going to be more than one railway history talk I'm going to be doing in future live streams. But this, you've given me a bright idea here. So, Nathan, round of applause for giving me a bright idea to talk about certain railways in another railway presentation. So, thank you. Thank you. Some of them are gravity-powered or rope-hauled by winches as the terrain is very steep. You've given me a bright idea, Nathan, so thank you. Thank you. West Coast oysters are very different than East Coast oysters in US. I can only imagine so. Tasty. Don't like the idea of oysters, yuck, but you don't eat any seafood. Oh, Rhea, you're missing out. You're missing out. You don't like... Oh, Alfredo, you're missing out. Oh, the lag. You love all seafood except oysters and mussels. Oysters, mussels, I could eat that any day. Prawns, fish, prawns, and crab. See, Gypsy, you wouldn't get me away from fish. I eat fish on a weekly basis. You couldn't get me away from it. One simply cannot get me away from seafood. And we've also, they sell prawns at the Hastings seafood stand, not far from the Stade in Hastings. So, nothing could get me away from eating fish. Nothing could get me away from this, particularly prawns. Or sea bass. I don't know if you've eaten sea bass, Sea Gypsy, but I eat sea bass. My father introduced me to eating sea bass, and I couldn't, and now I just can't get away from it. Fish is the most natural food to eat. It's biblical. Yes, it well and truly is. Why did the oyster cross the road? To prove it wasn't chicken. This is a good joke for our Easter live streams in the next week. Nothing can beat good fish, Sea Gypsy, or fish and chips. The only problem with fish and chips, it's cooked in batter, which is not particularly the best for you health-wise, but I don't mind it on occasions. But the fish caught naturally, I'd go for that any day. I will, Nathan. Yes, I will. I will do that. Now, wait a moment. I've got to get to the comment. Okay, right. UK North Pennines. Narrow gauge mineral railways. No. Usually by land. Oh, you fish. Oh, is it talking fishing? Oh, crabs and prawns you don't eat. Oh, okay. Now I understand. Love all fish, and you enjoy going fishing to catch your own. Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. No, fishing. Have you ever? Now, if I may ask, Sea Gypsy, have you ever felt fishing to be therapeutic? I mean, I would say fishing is a therapeutic experience, despite having never done it myself. But I'd love to do freshwater fishing. I mean, I've seen what freshwater fishing is like, and it looks nothing more than therapeutic. Very therapeutic. Your great-grandfather was a station master. Hi, Manet. Hello to you. Hello to you. Your grandfather was the station master at Plymouth until 1969. No, I remember you telling me so, Sapper. I remember you telling me so. Okay. Wait a moment. Anything with water you find is therapeutic. Fishing, swimming. Oh, is it? Speaking of swimming, do you do seawater swimming? Because I'd never swim in the sea, unfortunately. Swimming in the sea is not something I would do. But yes, no, anything to do with water is generally therapeutic. Fishing particularly looks therapeutic. But I could only too greatly imagine so, Sea Gypsy, since you were talking quite fondly of it. No, I know that, yes, station master is the old term. I prefer station master to station manager, Sapper. Whiskey and water is very therapeutic, very relaxing. I don't drink whiskey. Now, I did share a story regarding my first experience drinking whiskey, and I had this liquor on my breath, which I couldn't get rid of. I couldn't get rid of it until I drank this tonic water, and it just got rid of the whiskey liquor off of my breath after that. What an experience. I was about 18 when that happened. No, I was 18 when I first tried whiskey. Did not like it the first time I tried it. Did not like it. You love... I'm too much of a wuss and frightened. And I'm too much of a frightened wuss to swim in the ocean. We'll swim in sea. Oh, river, lake, pool. I'm a bit cautious about one swimming in the river. I don't know if you heard the story, Sea Gypsy, but we had people swimming the River Thames, and they got something called Weil's disease, swimming in the River Thames. But if you enjoy river swimming, that's wonderful, and that's fine. But I just hope you're careful regarding diseases that can actually occur swimming in a river, because of obviously what happened in the River Thames. It was many, many years ago. It wasn't recently. It was many years ago. G&T is also therapeutic. Weil's disease is from... Yes, I know that, Lils. I know that. Used to swim in weir gaps when you was a kid. Oh, wow. How interesting, Sapper. And certainly fascinating. Friend of mine. A friend of yours swims in a river in Germany. Oh, I hope he's okay. I hope he doesn't get ill from it. You've swam in pools and lakes. Yes, no, it is toxic, the River Thames, unfortunately, Nutmeg. It's quite toxic. Have I ever tried turbot? Turbot, is that a food? Turbot. No, I've never had turbot, Lils. No, I never have. I've never had turbot, no. Now, one more thing to share, then we're going. This here is what Clapham Junction looks like. The junction, where there's one part of the junction here, goes into a little shed, siding shed part. But the other part are connected junctions for where the South Western Railway services will go en route to Surrey and Exeter, or Bournemouth and Dorset. And the other part is with the Southern Main Line that goes en route to many Surrey destinations, East Grinstead, Littlehampton, Brighton, or many places in the Surrey Hills, what have you. So this is an example of what one of our British... Only been in canoes, kayaks, and pedal boarding. Oh, that's okay. But I do hope you've enjoyed your experiences doing that, Sea Gypsy. It's fish. I just looked at the picture. It did look like a good fish, a tasty one. Does it mean where rails go to many different... Yes, it does. Junction is the same with rails, and also you've got a road junction that takes you to many different directions as well. You've got a road junction and a railway junction. But this here... It's not my picture, but this is a picture of Clapham Junction. And where one route would go another and the other route would go another. But as you can see, they don't have steering wheels, so the trains won't be able to steer on their own terms. It can just follow the railway line. Whereas a car or road transportation, they can just turn the wheel, drive wherever they want to go, turn wherever they want to go, what have you. That's the thing, yes. But this is the railway presentation here, everybody, in this inspirational live stream chat. A bit of some off-topic chats, but namely railway topics we were talking about here. It's all by track, Nutmeg, all by track. They have a new driver. Oh my goodness, that's frightening. They have a new driverless train in Sydney, Australia. That's frightening. Richard Trevithick invented one of the first steam engines. The first steam engine was built in 1804, but it looked very, very different. Beamish Museum in County Durham. My late grandfather had family up in County Durham, so I'm interested in going to County Durham. But right, everybody, we're going to be finishing things off. Ta-da, Maureen, hello. But we're finishing now, Maureen. But next live stream, we're not going to be doing a live stream until Easter. This is true, Sapper, this is true. I should be going to this one, hopefully, no other cat, yes. But next time, Manet, next time in the future, whenever I'm doing the live streams, I'm going to put the link up to the No Other Cat community channel, so if those who want to go can always go over. It's a good community. It's very consummate, wholesome community, the No Other Cat, which is what Nick and Jen so very tirelessly strive for. Pleasure. Right, time to finish things off. No, I'm going to miss you too, Lils, but no trouble. But the next live stream, Lils, it's going to be Easter. There is a possibility, but to get this off before I finish things off, there is a possibility, conflicted possibility, Lils, that I'm going to be doing a live stream on Good Friday. But the Good Friday live stream, if I get around to it, it won't be scheduled 3 to 5 days before the live itself. But the ones that will be scheduled, however, to you Lils and all in here, are going to be the Easter Sunday live streams, the Easter Sunday and the Easter Monday live streams. The Easter Sunday live stream will be about 95 minutes long, and the Easter Monday live stream will be about 75 minutes long. But the Good Friday live stream will only be about 45, 60 minutes if I get around to it. So that's all I can say. That's going to be the conflicted rumour regarding Easter live streams. But thank you all for watching. Ta-ta for now. See Gypsy, Sapper, Flapper, Nutmeg, Dormery, all my mods. Thank you, mods, as usual, and all for tirelessly keeping this community a consummate, wholesome community. Oh, you're going to a funeral. Oh, I'm so sorry hearing about the death of one of your relatives, Nutmeg. Please talk to me about it privately if it helps you feel better. Please do. If you want to reach out to Sapper and I privately, please talk about it. You know, give us a talk, because funerals are sad occasions. I know this only too well from my experience with my late grandfather Edmund's funeral. So please don't be afraid to reach out to Sapper and I to talk about it to us. Don't be afraid, Nutmeg. Yes, this is true, so don't be afraid. Ta-ta now for watching all. Goodbye, and may happiness be knocking kindly on your doorstep. Here's to the Easter live streams, which is going to be the next one.
Thanks for coming, everyone, from your friend, Foxy. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe on the way out.